Good morning students, this is Junita Mukherjee once again in SS Public School giving you the revision work of 9th class. In this revision work, we will discuss about chapter number 11, work and energy. Children, what is work? Work is something which makes a particular thing to move from one place to another, or moving of something which is what we called something, or displacement of something which is there in the material, any constant material, or any still or rest material. That is what we call work. So what do you mean by the scientific concept of work? Scientific concept of work means when we are seeing that there is a displacement in a certain kind of particle, a certain type of material from one place to another, or it is moving from one place to another, or a force is make it move from one place to another. That is what we call the work here. Now, suppose when we are pulling or pushing a wall, is there any work done in that particular wall? No, because it is not moving from one place to another. So work done by a constant force makes it move from one place to another. So W is equals to F into S. F into S is force into displacement. So when where work is done, says that there will be a force and a displacement working on that particular substance. So this is what we call work. Now we are going to see what kind of energy we have. The energy which we have inside our body is changed into a fat. We have fat cells. This fat cells works in the form of energy, and these fat cells, when we move from one place to another, or when we are doing a particular kind of work, the fat cells melts, and the fat cells helps in making our work to be done from one place to another, or for doing a job from one side to another side, or pushing a wall, or creating something. This fat cells works in our body. Then only that energy is being transferred or changed into muscular energy, or kind of some energy from one place to another. Okay, so this is how the energy is being transformed in the form different forms of energy. So it can be the most powerful form of energy, or the infinite form of energy, or the infinite source of energy is the sun itself. From the sun we are getting different kinds of energy, that is chemical energy, mechanical energy. Then we have different type of energy from in the various forms, in the heating, let's say various forms of heating, that is heating energy, solar energy in heaters. Then we have different forms of energy from digging the earth. While digging the earth, we will get different forms of energy from the earth itself. In the earth core itself, there many forms of energy lies deep inside this earth's core. So we have many forms of energy. The main or the powerful source of the energy which we derive from the sun itself. Okay, so forms of energy. There are various forms of energy: electrical, mechanical, kinetic, potential. So what do you mean by this potential energy and kinetic energy? So potential energy is a kind of energy which is there in your material, which is they are engraved in that particular material itself, not engraved. It is the innermost energy of that particular substance, but is what we call the potential energy of a substance. Suppose I am a human being. I have some potential. I have some potential to work for. I have some potential energy inside me that is working for my well-being, or that is working for my job, or that is working for me to move from one place to another. Okay, so we have here the potential energy within us. But when we are talking about kinetic energy means moving of a certain particle from one place to another, or a force which is given to a certain particle which is there in the rest position, or it is in the moving position. Okay, so that is what we call the kinetic energy, which makes the body move from one place to another. That is what we call the kinetic energy. Okay, so potential energy and kinetic energy, the addition of these two energies is what we call the mechanical energy. That is sum total of potential energy and sum total of kinetic energy together forms the mechanical energy. Electrical energy that we forms that is coming from the electrical appliances that we are running in our day-to-day life, or in our houses, or in offices, or in streets and everywhere. That is what we call the electrical form of energy. Chemical form of energy that we are deriving from the batteries, okay, and we are getting from the earth crust, that is the chemical form of energy. Then we are getting a solar form of energy. Solar energies are the energies which we are getting from the sun itself. So there are various forms of energy. We have talked about the kinetic and the potential form of energy here. So we have a derivation here related to this work done. That is, work done is equals to mgh is the potential form of energy here, and we are able to define this particular potential form of energy by mgh itself. And kinetic form of energy is half into mv square itself. This is what we call the kinetic energy form. Okay, so law of conservation of energy, we will be moving on to the next term. I hope this particular video is very much interesting for you to go on, and in the next part we will discuss something related to the conservation of energy itself. Thank you, students.